tell me how you got involved in the film?
It all happened so quickly that it's going to almost seem like I'm truncating it. But literally on a Thursday night before the Super Bowl weekend, I got an email saying Jesse Armstrong, who of course we know, is making this film. Here are some pages from the script, and you need to put yourself on tape and send it in by tomorrow at 3:30. It's very uncomfortable anyway to audition, but there was something about like it has to be done tomorrow at 3:30 that was kind of like, okay, like, and then I found out the next week that things were possibly looking good, and then we were shooting like 3.5 weeks later, 4 weeks later.
None of these guys are particularly relatable on first glance, but I actually found myself really relating to Super's desperation for like friendship, and specifically the scene you were mentioning where he's like, I read all the books, I've listened to all the podcasts, that really like hit home. So tell me about you finding that connection to him.
Yeah, I have a bunch of friends, let's say in my life, I won't name names, but who I've known for a long time. And even though we are now the ages that we are now and have families, I'm still treated like I'm that.
You, Jason Schwartzman?
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah. But it's more like, really, I'm a father. Bet you're talking to me like that, and you've known me and it's just like it's funny that we can't, the roles that we kind of fall into, and yet I'm still desperately trying to prove myself to them. You know what I mean? I want them to like the book I'm reading. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's so twisted that it's because I love them.
Yeah.
And I could relate to that with Super, and and the idea of there's a crisis happening, terrible chaos and disruption. But I also like this idea that he has another channel going the whole time, which is like, is everyone happy?
Right.
Are we hydrated? Are there snacks? I just want him to be comfortable. And he's the richest man in the world, so, he's a high threshold, so yeah. I think Venice takes mine here, the master, and I go guest, yeah?
Oh, you relocate?
Yeah, it's nothing. Just expunge me from here, and I hop over to guest one. And we download that information. Not because it's humiliating, just because it's boring. He has a version of how that weekend is supposed to go.
Right.
And he has it all planned out. And I could relate to that idea of like being proud to show something to someone, having a way that it's supposed to go, and while it's happening, stepping outside of yourself, going like, this is exactly what I was talking about, this is what I wanted. Yeah. And then when it's not going the same way, you're going like, man, this wasn't part of the plan. So I could relate to that desire to want to make his friends happy.
That house in Utah, how many days were you guys out there? Were you guys like staying in that house or?
No, I would have liked to have stayed in the house. We didn't stay in the house. It was a big house, 7 stories. Forget the amount of days, but when we first got there, day one, it was like, whoa. It's like you'd think it would be to walk into that house. Jeez Louise, look at this. And by the end, I was like, I'm home. I was like, wow, that's weird. Yeah. This place is starting to feel comfortable, because we shot some stuff on the mountain. And I remember coming back on the next day, I was like, oh, it's so good to be back.
Like you were mentioning, the process was very quick, greenlit, cast, shot, edited just a few months' time. How does the speed of such a quick process affect your process as being from being cast to acting to now doing press just a few months later?
I always try to work as hard as I can, obviously, with anything. So it just kind of sped up the process because I think Steve, all of us, Corey, we understand the nature or the way that Jesse wanted to shoot the film was, we're going to do these scenes as one giant take. So it's going to be kind of like a play or filmed play. So immediately that tells you that we have to know these lines. We have to be totally prepared and ready to go. And with such a short amount of time, which was so fun, by the way, to have this challenge. We all I texted Corey, like, how are you doing this? He's like, I have a friend helping me 4 days a week for 5 hours a day. And I was like, really? I don't.
Is there anything that stands out in your mind as a memory on set?
I mean, so many. I mean, there are a ton of memories, but oddly enough, my big memory is not even in the house. It's on the top of this mountain, Snowbird. And that was at like 11,500 feet, 12,000 feet. And, you know, we went up there and we have these ski outfits on, but with no shirts underneath. And we have to write our net worth in lipstick. And I remember the morning before doing that, I realized, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to write my net worth on my body, but it has to be backwards. So I was practicing like writing backwards in the shower. And that was, you know, an example of like, we're going up to these conditions. It's cold, it's windy, there's snow, you know, and it was like we have to get this. You know, we don't have a lot of time up here.
Yeah.
And it really I remember we were freezing cold, just doing the scene as, you know, just trying to survive through this, you know, get the scene right.
Yeah.
And I remember the camera was behind us at one time and Jesse's like, just wave out to the canyon. I remember Rami saying just under his breath, like, I can't do this anymore. I'm freezing. And Steve's like, just hold on. We're almost done and we'll have it. You know, it was amazing. Like, you know, just like that kind of camaraderie.
Has this experience working on this project made you more empathetic to Billionaires, less empathetic to Billionaires, or maybe more scared or less scared of these guys that kind of Jesse modeled these characters after that have so much power in the world and in our lives?
That's a great question. Yeah, I definitely think it's scary. It's definitely scary that 4 people could maybe buy the world.
Yeah.
I don't love that idea. So yeah, that scares the shit out of me.